The year is 433 of the Third Era, and the Empire is recovering from a lot of issues with Yaghartharn, as well as a civil war. Essentially, this is going to all go to crap. Well, the Mythic Dawn cult had erupted, participating in the Oblivion Crisis, where Marudus Dagon attempted to evade Tamriel. Martin Septim and the Hero of Kvatch, these two guys, destroyed the Amulet of Kings, allowing them to defeat Marudus Dagon in the streets of the Imperial City themselves. Following this crisis, Chancellor Akato would take over as the Potentate, and the Third Era would end. But this wouldn't last long, because this guy, Potentate Akato, would die in the year 10 of the Fourth Era, and the Stormcrown Interregnum would begin, which saw a series of pretenders try to claim the throne. The Mede Dynasty were the victors and rose to power in the year 17 of the Fourth Era, when Titus Mede I, the Colovian warlord at the time, captured the Imperial City from the Nibonese pretender through the gibbering. Let's go gibbering. Well, this ended the Stormcrown Interregnum. Soon after, the Imperial City then fell to another pretender, this guy being Eddar Olin, which isn't really this guy, but neither was through as the gibbering. This is just a fake picture. Well, it's something to look at while looking at this. Well, essentially, the Emperor would actually seize back the Imperial City with less than 2,000 men, and Olin was swiftly defeated, allowing the Empire under the Mede Dynasty to hold on. Now, in the year 49 of the Fourth Era, Cyrodiil was under threat once again. By this time, it was the floating city of Umbriel, but Titus Mede I was victorious, and in the end, thanks to his son, Prince Atreus Mede, they were able to be successful. Now, 168 of the Fourth Era, Titus Mede II ascended to the imperial throne. By this time, Cyrodiil's empire was drastically weakened. Valenwood and Ellisware were subsequently captured by the Aldmeri Dominion, and Hammerfell was in a civil war, shocking, with the threat of the forebears and crowns. In 168 of the Fourth Era, the Empire consisted of Cyrodiil, Skyrim, High Rock, Morrowind, and Hammerfell. Blackmarsh had separated itself from the Empire and captured most of southern Morrowind in an invasion, and Morrowind was still rebuilding from the eruption of Red Mountain in the Red Year of 5 of the Fourth Era. Now, essentially, what does this have to do with anything about Cyrodiil? Well, a lot actually, because the Empire was centered in Cyrodiil and in the Imperial City, which was in Cyrodiil itself. Now, in 171 of the Fourth Era, the Aldmeri Dominion sent an ambassador to the Imperial City with a list of demands, which Titus Mede II rejected, participating in the Great War, which saw the subsequent invasion of Cyrodiil and the sacking of the Imperial City. We'll go into this in a little bit. The occupation of Leeuwin, Bravil, and Anvil would soon proceed until the year 175 of the White Gold after the White Gold Concordat was signed. Well, it's time to rewind. Now, in 171 of the Fourth Era, an ambassador of the Aldmeri Dominion approached the Emperor in the Imperial Palace. Now, he had a long list of demands, and like all emperors and leaders should, rejected them, because why would you want to cave to any sort of demands like this? Well, this is when the Aldmeri ambassador revealed a bunch of severed heads, and these were the blade agents that were operating within the Aldmeri Dominion, which essentially didn't do much, because if you think about it, the blades were no longer attached to the Emperor because the Emperor was no longer Dragonborn, so all they really did was make a bloody mess on the Imperial Palace, which is kind of annoying. I feel bad for everyone to clean up that mess. Well, a then strong force from the Aldmeri Dominion invaded Cyrodiil and Hammerfell. However, we're going to focus on Cyrodiil because this is obviously a history of Cyrodiil, a recent history that is. A strong force commanded by the Thalmor General Lord Narafin attacked Cyrodiil from the south, marching out of hidden camps in northern Ellisware and flanking the Imperial defenses along the Valenwood border. Leeuwin soon fell to the invaders, and Bravil was then besieged. Well, later that time, Lady Anriella would then cross into western Cyrodiil from Valenwood, bypassing Anvil and Kvatch and crossing into Hammerfell. Her forces did basically nothing in Cyrodiil itself. Now, essentially though, the attack on Cyrodiil was not done, and Lord Narafin was eager to go to the Imperial City. The Aldmeri forces advanced deeper into Cyrodiil, capturing both Bravil and Anvil, and later on, a large battle would occur in Lake Rumar, where there was a large naval battle in an attempt to capture the lake and the Neben, and the Imperial forces were able to hold off temporarily. Well, as things in Hammerfell went progressively worse, the things in Cyrodiil were also getting progressively worse, because in the year 173, the Imperial resistance was stiffening. However, the Aldmeri advance still continued. Fresh legions from Skyrim tried to bolster the Emperor's main army in the Imperial City, but the Aldmeri forces crossed the Neben and began advancing up the eastern bank to surround the city on three sides, only with one supply route to the north to Bruma remaining open. Now, essentially, the things in Hammerfell were getting much worse still. However, in 174 of the Fourth Era, the Thalmor leadership decided to commit all available forces to a campaign in Cyrodiil, gambling on a decisive victory to end the war once and for all, which in a war is a stupid idea. You never want to put all your chips in one basket. Now, they launched one massive invasion on the 12th of the Second Seed and assaulted the Imperial City itself. As one army tried to drive north, another army tried to drive on the walls on the southeast and west. Now the Emperor decided to fight his way out, and in one last bold stand, the 8th Legion fought a desperate and doomed rearguard action on the walls of the city and on the ground itself, effectively getting destroyed. Rest in peace, the 8th Legion. Now, at this point, many thought the war was going to be over, and the Aldmeri Dominion would send people and send negotiators to end the war. And at the same time, the Imperial Palace was burned and the White Gold Tower itself was looted, but let's not talk about all the other atrocities that were carried out on the people of the Imperial City itself. Well, during the winter of 174 and 175, the Thalmor sent ambassadors, like I said earlier, and the Emperor took them up on this offer, encouraging them. However, he was preparing for a counterattack. Near Chorrol in the Colovian Highlands was an army that was secretly recalled from the Hammerfell front under General Dysanius. Near Cyrodiil was another army that was led by General Jonah, which consisted of mainly Nord legions. In the north was an army that was commanded by the Emperor, which was not the Emperor, and on the 30th of Rain's Hand they commenced the attack of the Battle of the Red Ring. Now, General Dysanius slept down from the city on the west, and General Jonah drove south, where the Emperor, not the Emperor, drove from the north. Now, this surprised Lord Narfin's forces, and essentially, they were devastated. The Aldmeri troops tried to counterattack from Bravel and Skingrad, however, the heroic Nord legionaries held firm. During this two-day assault, Lord Narfin's forces were effectively defeated, and he was captured by Titus Meade II himself. Now, it was rumored that the Emperor was wielding the famed sword Goldbrand, although it has never been officially confirmed by the Imperial government. An attempt of the Aldmeri army to break out of the city was made in the south, however it was blocked by the unbreakable shield wall of General Jonah's battered legions, and in the end, the main Aldmeri army in Cyrodiil was effectively and efficiently destroyed. Now, the Emperor's decision to withdraw the Imperial City in 174 was bloodily vindicated. Lord Narfin was kept alive for 33 days, hanging from the White Gold Tower, and is not recorded where his body was buried, if at all. One source claims he was actually carried off by a winged Daedra on the 34th day. Now, the White Gold Concordat was signed, however, this is not a history of the White Gold Concordat, so effectively we're not going to talk about what that did, but Talos and the worship of him was banned, and this led to a bunch of other issues that we're not going to really talk about, that we actually have already talked about in different videos. Now, what happened to Cyrodiil after this? Well, Cyrodiil was effectively devastated, and the aftermath of the war left some devastating effects on the city and the province itself, with much of this province being torn apart and in a state of ruin. The conflicts would not end there, and in 188 of the Fourth Era, the city of Bravel erupted into a riot as a result between two skooma traffickers. Cyrodiil soon followed suit and erupted into another riot sometime between 189 and the year 200 of the Fourth Era. Now, according to Cicero, he claims that the imperial province is ravaged by strife. Nowhere is safe at the present. Now, I take this with a grain of salt because Cicero is, for one, crazy, and for two, he is an assassin. So essentially, he is a criminal, and this might be referring to the fact that the Empire is cracking down on crime within the province of Cyrodiil. Now, furthermore, that is all we really have on Cyrodiil. We don't get too much information on the year 201 of the Fourth Era, so effectively, we really don't know what's going on. Now, we do know that there is a massive, massive military force that is bordering the provinces of Valenwood and Cyrodiil and Ellisware and Cyrodiil. Obviously, they don't want to get outflanked again on Valenwood or from Ellisware, so they're going to be covering that area as well. Now, that is all we know on the recent history of Cyrodiil. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys just enjoyed this new part where I'm just jumping right into the lore. No, I'm gonna see if I can cut out the intro effectively and just jump into something else like this. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and smash that like button if you liked it. If you're new to the channel and you just happen to stumble across this video, please give me a nice subscribe and a like as well, because I post content. Not really like this, post content like this once a week, but I also have gaming stuff that I post 3 times a week, maybe more if something comes up. But with that, I hope to see you guys around. Peace. Hey guys, please like if you enjoyed this. Lets me know you're really liking the content and lets me know that you want more of it. And please subscribe if you want more content like this. I post 5 days a week and once bi-weekly with Dragon Age lore. And with that, I hope to see you guys in the Discord chat. Peace.